What's up, everyone? YGO 2010 here, and I'm bringing you, I think, finally the final version of my Heretic deck. Um, I had a lot of stuff that wasn't necessary in it in my last profile for it, and I finally finished up the extra deck completely. So I think everything works pretty smoothly. The only deck I have trouble with is the mirror match. Everything else, though, I beat consistently. Like, I haven't lost to Insectors yet. Haven't lost to Dino Rabbit yet, or Pure Evolve. Um, yeah, that's about it for meta decks that I've played. Non-meta, I just I auto win against them because they don't want to run stuff that might have a chance at stopping me. But let's start it off. We got Heretic Dragon of Esset. He's my Barbaros. I can summon him without tribute, but his attack becomes 1,000. Uh, I can target the dragon on the field. That's normal, and all my Heretic monsters level become that monster's level to the end phase. And of course, he has the effect when he's tributed. I special a dragon normal monster from my deck, grave, or hand, and its attack and defense becomes 0. Next up is Tefnuit. It has a Cyber Dragon type effect. If my opponent has a monster and I don't, I can special summon him, but he can't attack that turn. And the same tribute effect. Neptet. I can special summon him by tributing a Heretic monster, and once per turn I can tribute a Heretic monster from my hand or the field other than himself and destroy a monster my opponent controls. And of course the tribute effect. 3 Red Eyes, 1 Gores, and I changed up the normal monster count to 1 Watt Meter and 1 Luster Dragon because someone flipped Chain Disappearance on me when I normal summoned this guy, and that made me realize that if I was still running 3 Watt Dragons, then the whole deck premise would just be dead. Unless I was trying to use the TCG exclusives, which aren't all that anyway. But the Chain Disappearance flip instantly made me realize that OCG had the right idea running 1 Watt Meter and 1 Luster Dragon number 2. That way you'll still have the other one. 3 Sue. I can special summon him by tributing a Heretic, and once per turn I can destroy a spell or trap my opponent controls by tributing a Heretic on my field or in my hand except for himself. And of course he has the tributing effect. 3 Cardi. He's one of the newer additions to the deck. I decided to try him out, and I don't really have monsters that I can normal summon too often, so I had to, get some more backup just in case I needed a monster or something. And he's been helping out. Like, usually when I normal summon him, I have game next turn, so he helps out. 1 Future Fusion, set up grave and put these guys in grave just in case I don't want to, top deck into them, because when you top a vanilla, it's not always the best of the best. 1 Pot of Avarice, for that added draw power. 3 Heretic Seal of Convocation. It's my searcher. I can add any Heretic monster from my deck to my hand. And then the staples, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole. And I consider Enemy Controller a staple. Some people might not, but it just helps out. Like, it actually won me a game because I needed basically just a monster to sacrifice. I just added this guy to hand, but I didn't want to bring him out and not have anything else to go with him. And that Enemy Controller left me at 1,400 life points, and I came back against Dark Worlds, so it was pretty nice. I like it at 2. I had it at 3, but I attribute more by monster effects than I do by card effects. And although I can play it when they attack or when they bring out something, I feel like it is not always going to be helpful. Then we got Heavy Storm, 3 MSTs. You know, I don't have a lot of back row hate, so I just decided to put that at 3, and it helped make the deck 40. Then the traps, you got Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, double Torrential Tribute. That's another quick fix that I put in here. I noticed that, you know, the deck needs to set up somewhat, and if I don't have the setup turn 1, which I usually do, these help out, and it keeps the field clear and helps me keep the field under control. And the Hieratic Sailor Reflection, I decided to keep that in because I usually can keep a Hieratic monster up, whether it be an Exceed or an actual monster, and just the fact that I can get rid of up to 4 or 5 cards per turn, that just helps out tremendously by itself, and that takes another card out of their repertoire. And then finally, 2 Solemn Warnings. Once again, you know, monster control, and you know, staple in here personally. And for the extra deck, I have number 61 Volcasaurus, just in case I bring out 2 5s. I like his effect. He destroys a monster, they take damage equal to the original attack, and he can't declare a direct attack that turn, meaning if they still have another monster on the field, he can attack over that. Pretty good. Then we got Stellar Pleiades, however you say his name. I can detach a material and target 1 card on the field and return that target to hand. Once again, he's field control. Relatively easy to make in here as well. I kept Adreus in here, you know, once again, field control, whether it be continuous spell, trap, or monster. Zenmail for the people that set heavy, and well, not Heavy Storm, but heavy back row, and I don't have the Sue or the Heavy Storm or the MSTs. And the MVP of the deck, Hieratic Dragon, King of Adam. He's the engine of the deck, the reason why I run Watt Meter Dragon and Luster Dragon number 2, because I tribute a Hieratic while I have another level 6, bring out one of them, Exceed for him, bring out Red Eyes, and from there it's so many different possibilities depending on what I have of what I can do. He opens up the world to the deck. Photon Streak Bouncer, when he is my effect negator, when a monster's effect activates, I can detach a material and inflict 1,000 to the opponent to negate it. And it's been so many times where I've run into people that just bring out Ally of Justice Catastor and they just sit on and be like, well, GG, and then I bring this guy out and they look stunned because instead of him dying, they're taking 1,500 total, so he helps out. Another card I decided to put in here is Insector Exabeetle. He's relatively easy to make as well because I can detach and send 1 card from either side of the field, and usually I'll end up sending Adam after I used his effect if they don't have like a monster on the field, and that way I can get that direct swing off, and plus I can equip, more than likely I'll have a Red Eyes Engraved, so I'll equip that most of the time, or if they have something stronger I'll equip that too. And then I got Stellar Ptolemus Messiah 7. I do not know how to say his name at all. He's 2 level 6s, and I don't necessarily have to bring him out with level 6s. I can just stack him on top of Stellar Pleiades, but generally I bring him out by using 2 level 6s. His effect can't be activated the turn I bring him out by stacking him on another Stellar, but his effect is once per turn I can detach a material, and then I can target 1 monster on the field or in the graveyard and return him to the hand. and that just helps out so much because he's field control and he can provide hand advantage. And I've returned Red Eyes to my hand to go off again and go into Gustav, and that right there just opens up another world of possibilities. And here's another change. I was running only one Gaia Dragoon, the Force of Lightning, and I saw how quickly I would bring out and Adam, and I realized that they would just be sitting there if I didn't have anything to do with them. So I just bring him out, and then I bring out another Adam, then I bring both of them out. So essentially I've swarmed the field from 2 monsters to 4, and they're all over 2,000, which is basically, well, it's an OTK. And plus, his effect isn't dependent on anything. It's just I can exceed summon him by using a rank 5 or 6 as material, and if he attacks the defense, he pierces. So even if he has no materials, his effect is not dependent on that. He's just a free piercer, and I decided to put him at 2, like I said. And another card that I put at 2 was Gustav Max, and his effect, of course, 2 level 10s, you detach a material once per turn and inflict 2,000. And I bring out Red Eyes constantly in this deck, and 2 is once again a constant thing. And so after I swarm out, then I'll exceed for him, inflict 2,000, then bring more than likely I'll bring Red Eyes back. And before I put the second one in, I was always stuck because I didn't know like what else I could do, and they'd just be sitting there. So I finally changed up the extra deck and put him in, and he's been helping out like 4,000 in one turn just from effect, not even attacking yet. It hurts. There's no other way to say it. And finally, my future fusion target, 5-headed dragon, and I brought him out once, and the guy just quit because they obviously weren't running light monsters if they just quit so easily, because that's the only thing that can destroy him by battle, and I don't think he had any like card effects to get rid of him. So he's another backup plan, but if he comes out, unless you have some sort of card effect or honest, he's gonna be staying for a while. Alright, let me know what you guys think of the deck. I think this is the version that I'm gonna stick with for a while, unless they come out with some extra broke TCG exclusive in 2 weeks. Alright guys, YGO out.